Here's another boxing fight. I want to get into a little bit more of that old school boxing. We haven't seen a lot of that on this channel. You know, I'm a huge fan of kickboxing. I like the old school karate, the MMA, all that stuff's real fun. We watched a bit of boxing, but I think we should get a little bit deeper into it. Here's Thomas Hearns versus Roberto Duran, the full fight. Let's check it out and see what happens. I have not watched it before. It's the first time watching it. We're doing it together, and let's all enjoy it as a team. Here we go. All right. Thomas Hearns, Roberto Duran. 1980, I believe. 44 years ago. Good looking referee. He's going to hold it down for us, Carlos. I like the old school boxing shorts too. I don't like the new ones. They're too big, too baggy. The old school ones, it's like almost like a Muay Thai short. Turned pro 1967, the year my parents were born. 77-5, 58 KOs. One of the greatest of all times, Roberto Duran. In the tracksuits. You gotta love those tracksuits. I wonder what those are going for on eBay. Maybe a couple G's, eh? You gotta rock one of those. The gut on his coach. Authentic boxing coach. Big old gut on him. Thomas Hearns, 25 years old. Straight out of Detroit. Okay, turned pro 10 years afterwards. 38-1, 32 KOs. You know. Definitely at the peak of his career. 25 years old, 32-1. Roberto, I hate to say it, this is probably leaning into the tail end of his career. I haven't really been that involved in boxing culture or history. You know, I know the greatest, but I haven't really followed the sport that closely. I love watching it, though. You know, I love watching anything fight-oriented, and we're doing it together right here, right now. 25 versus 32? Well, he's only 32. But a 25-year-old, 6'1", 78-inch reach versus a 67 reach. That's tough for Duran. He seems small for that weight class in general, though. There we go. Nice head movement out of Duran early. All right, he's going to have to work around that jab. Without a doubt, he's going to have to do a lot of work. Try not staying on the center line the entire fight here. It's going to be a lot of feeling out to start. But Hearns just looks big. You know, Duran's definitely thick. It looks like he's got a bit of a muscular, strong frame. But in most states, that's illegal. I'm surprised that Emmanuel Stewart didn't complain to the commission about that. There's a nice snappy jab from Hearns. All right, some good feints, getting reactions out of Duran. Right. Both guys are looking pretty sound in their defense. Duran's trying to find the body. Hearns, again, just feinting that lead. He's going to be lining up that right hand all night. Just keep touching, finding his shot. All right, good feint, snap. Right, it's that kind of like up jab. It's not perfectly straight. It's just snapping into the face. Not quite following through, but just making it hard to do anything around. Man, look at the speed of that jab. That might be one of the most beautiful boxing jabs I've ever seen. Look at it. And just hanging out down there. You don't know what it's doing. Nice step in 1-2. Good. Keeping on the end range of his shots. Like, Duran's just stuck on the outside of that huge reach. And Hearns got huge power, too. All right, again, touching that jab, moving. All right, little frame. All right, Roberto's got to be finding ways to close that distance and fight on the inside. Pretty smart by Hearns there, right? Take the warning and just off-balance your opponent. Okay, whatever. A nice little shovel hook setting into the body. Again, that touch jab. He's already bleeding. Oh! Feinting the lead hand, then stepping in on that cross. I came right over the top of Roberto's guard. Sat him down to the mat. 15 seconds left in the first round. And Roberto trying to stay in. Kind of fell off his feet there. Still should be considered a knockdown because he was getting pummeled. But it was really a missed shot that took him off his feet. Like if you take a dive while, eating shots, then you have to call it a knockdown. Even though technically it wasn't the punch that put him down. But if you actively did something while you were getting pummeled that put you on the mat and saved you from a couple extra shots, should be a knockdown right then and there. But yeah, he feinted the lead hand. I got the reaction out of Roberto because he was trying to figure out how he could deal with that lead hand. And it was one of the first moments that Hearns really attempted to close the distance. Alright, some nice digging shots. Right, he's got a real whip to his technique. Right, it's not like overly structured, tight boxing. Like he's swinging these arms, but just finishing with a ton of power. Just because he has that huge range. I find guys with really long arms, if they can get that whip down correctly without overexposing themselves, they'll hit harder than anybody else. Like I train a guy with a similar frame to Hearns, and not nearly as athletic as him, or he's really a beginner, but the amount of power that he can generate with that type of frame is just off the charts. All right. Roberto's still in it though. Yeah, he's throwing shots. I think he's actively thinking about deterrence now instead of, being the perfect. Oh man. Just unloading a beautiful combination, but Roberto did the right thing to tie up. Oh yeah, he's balancing on the ropes here. It's the only thing keeping him up. But look at this combination work. Just non-stop hitting high, hitting low, different angles. Oh my God! Now 1-1-2. He's dead. It's over. Call it. It's done. Knocked out. On his feet. Face plant on the mat. He doesn't know where he is right now. Man, Hearns dominated him. Domination. That really couldn't have been a better executed game plan. Couldn't be, a guy in better shape, ready to fight more than Hearns was right there. Really, that finishing combination when he had him up against the ropes was just insane. Right, non-stop combination work, hitting every angle, coming down the middle, from underneath, right to the sides, and just insane amount of speed while keeping his range too. All right, Roberto could not, for the life of him, figure out an intelligent way to close the distance without eating shots. So it looked like in this round he sort of conceded the fact that he was going to get hit no matter what, and he was just going to attempt to close the distance through the shots and give Hearns a bit of a deterrent. Right? If he's going to get hit to throw the shots, then maybe, Hearns won't throw as many shots. And it will slow him down a little bit. But you got to take a bit of a beating to make something like that happen. Yeah, but that was some good stuff on the inside there by Roberto, sort of working on the back foot. But just look at the frame of Thomas Hearns there. Just long arms, long legs, tall guy. That jab just insanely fast. And Roberto trying to find a way to hit the body, but Hearns does a little back step. 10 inches in fighting for range is just like almost impossible to fight in the mid-range at. But just even right there, Right, he lands that nice short lead uppercut, and then that step in 1-2 again, where that sort of right hand is just drifting through to the side because it's just full commitment. Like his shoulders are turned, his hips, everything's behind that shot. And look, he's finding ways to hit these shots tight in the middle, but again, just that sort of whipping punch that's coming from behind the back. Right, it's amazing that he finds an ability to even land all these shots at such a close range. All right, with, again, that really, really long reach that he's got. All right, so they get separated here. Hearns back on his feet. Roberto bouncing on his toes, but just putting himself up against the ropes just because he doesn't have the wherewithal to think about using footwork to get out of there. But that's the story of the fight right here. Boom, steps in, lands that jab. Everything's behind it, touching, looks like Roberto's neck or chest there, right? But it's enough to keep the range between him and then, yeah, Roberto trying to counter over the top, and there's just no way. Right, you imagine if his reach was 6 inches longer, or Hearns was 6 inches shorter, like he would have landed that shot. But it was really the reach and the understanding of range that made all the difference in this. All right, he's all caught in the ropes now. Again, every angle getting hit from. Ref pulls him back in. Look at all these shots. All right, really long punches. Looks like a bit of an elbow there. Roberto's still trying to throw. Good for him. All right, totally in survival mode. And gets clipped. All right, Hearns ducks. Roberto ducks. All right, but it really just looks like Duran's just swinging shots, hoping for the best. Again, just deterrence. Stepping away. He's got no space anymore. He just stuck on the end of all those shots. And then exactly the same combination that put him down in the first round puts him down in the second. All right, let's watch that again. All right, he goes jab body. Jab body. And look at that hand starting to drop. And just from behind the back, like he's even hiding the right hand while he's touching the body there. All right, that right hand is way behind him. Like you can see it from behind his back here through the pixels. And then just right over the top, he got Roberto to drop that hand and then bop right across the chin. Again, that drifting right hook, kind of cross, something in the middle. Right, real haymaker of a shot, just so technically done. And Roberto is dead. That's over. Game over. Super fun fight to watch. If you like this sort of stuff and watching fights with me, suggest a fight in the comments and we'll watch it here if it's not copyrighted. See you next time.